Expressions, formulas, and equations readiness test. A rectangle has an area of 124 centimeters squared, has a length that is 4 times the width. Is changes to equals when we turn this into an equation. So remember that the area of rectangle is length times width. But I can see that the length is 4 times the width. So in this area, I can substitute out the variable L for 4W. L is 4W. Length is 4 times the width. And now A, I can substitute out for the area of this particular rectangle, and 2W's makes W squared. I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and you can either choose to do mental math or grab a calculator. And I have 31 is equal to W squared. And now to isolate the W, I'm going to square root both sides. And when I take the square root of W, I end up with approximately 5.6 centimeters. Correct answer is A. Leroy works part-time for a moving company. One day he has to move 34 boxes from his truck to inside of a house. After moving some boxes, he took a break and he told his boss that he has only 15 more boxes to move. So he has to do a total of 34 and he has only 15 more to move. Which equation can be solved to find how many boxes he has moved before taking his break? Well, if you have to do 34 total, and we don't know how many he's completed, but we know that plus 15 more is equivalent to 34. What he's completed plus additional 15 equals 34. So I want x plus 15 equals 34. So the only problem where it has 34 isolated is this, and it's not subtraction, so I know it's not this one. Now if I isolate the x, I would do that by subtracting 15. So it'd be 34 subtract 15 equals x. That's not correct. This is addition. So if I want to isolate the 15, I'm going to subtract the x to the opposite side, and I can see that C is the correct answer. Problem 15 is like one of the problems you completed in your homework today. And in this problem, we want to solve for C. So our first step is to get rid of the square root on the outside. I'm going to do that by squaring both sides. Again, we want to isolate the C. I have 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I want to get rid of these 3 groups so that this last group is by itself and I can eventually isolate the C. Each one of these groups is being multiplied by the 4th group. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. Okay, my final step here with 2 remaining, is to remove the s. Right now we have a positive s. Opposite is to subtract the s from both sides. So negative c is equal to a squared over s times s minus a times s minus b. Now this subtracting s doesn't go in the denominator, it goes behind this quantity. And the last thing we need to do is to remove this negative 1. And I can do that by dividing by negative 1. When I divide it by negative 1, my 2 groups on the left will change signs. This first group is currently positive and the second group is currently negative. When you divide by negative 1, it will change the sign. So this becomes positive. This becomes negative, and this becomes positive. Okay, moving up here to the next problem. It says that Bill, Russell, and Michael Jordan Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant have won a combined total of 22 NBA championships. Which equation can be used to find out how many championships Kobe Bryant has won? If Michael Jordan has won one more title than Kobe Bryant. Okay, so we have Bill plus Michael plus Kobe equals 22. We also know that Kobe is equal to, how many has Kobe won? Excuse me, this is the question I want to know. How many has Kobe won? If Michael has won, so Michael is equal to one more title than Kobe. Michael has one more title than Kobe. And Bill has won one more than twice as many as Kobe. Bill has won one more than twice as many as Kobe. Okay, so let's figure this out. So we have here Bill, but down here, I'm not going to put Bill, I'm going to replace it with what Bill is equal to. So Bill is 2K plus 1. Michael, I can replace with K plus 1. Kobe is by himself and is equal to 22. Now up above, we're going to see variables instead of the variable x instead of k, but that's okay. So I need 2k or 2x plus 1. So here's your 2x plus 1, followed by, and the order doesn't matter here. We have an x, I've taken care of this. Then we have an x, and now I need an x plus 1. Correct answer is B. Number 5. To solve this, I'm going to distribute the 7 to the two quantities inside and distribute the negative 2. Then I'm going to choose to move the x's to the left. Combine like terms on the left, negative 14 and positive 8. Keep the sign of the larger number. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. Two negatives divide to make a positive, and this fraction cannot be reduced any further. Now, does 25 over 6 give you a terminating decimal? It is not terminating. We could put a line over the top of the 6, showing that it is repeating decimal, but I would prefer this as a fraction form. Number 6 from the Readiness self-assessment. Remember, there is more than one way to solve this. I'm going to choose to get rid of the fractions. So to do that, I'm going to look at the 2 and the 2, and I go, okay, what's the smallest number 2 and 2 both go into it? It goes into 2. So I'm going to take a 2 on the outside. And don't forget, common mistake today is students forgot to multiply this also by that number. 2 divided by 2 is 1 multiplied by the top. 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 3 is 3. 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 1 is a positive 1. 2 times 6 is 12. Distribute the 3 and distribute the 1. Combine like terms, 3x and 10x is 13x. Negative 36 and negative 4 is negative 40. Now to solve for the x, I'm going to move the 40 to the opposite side. And opposite of multiplying is dividing. X equals, and your correct answer should be 4. And remember, for both number 5 and number 6, you can substitute that value back in if you have time for the variable to check to see if the answer is correct. Just a little more practice here. Together, Jane, Alexa, and Karen have $147. Karen has triple the amount of money that Alexa has, and Jane has 3 more than twice the amount of money as Alexa. How much money does Karen have? So together, Jane plus Alexa plus a Karen equals 147. Karen has, this is equal to triple the amount of money that Alexa has. Karen has triple that of Alexa. Jane has 3 more than, the 3 is going to go in back because of the word than, 3 more than twice the amount as Alexa. Okay, so Jane, I can substitute in this value 2a plus 3. Bring down Alexa. Karen, I can substitute in 3a. Notice that we have only one variable we're working with. Now I'm going to solve for a. 2a and 1a is 3a. 3a and 3a is 6a. Taking 144 and divided by 6. But this is not the correct answer. I've done all the math correct, but what I forgot to do is look back to the question, how much money does Karen have? Substituting 24 in for A, 3 times 24 is 72. Karen has $72. And our last problem to solve for x. So if I move this decimal to the right in every one of the 4 groups, I must also move it 1 time to the right. 105x minus 334 equals 17 minus 12. Remember, there's more than one way to do the math here, and I meant to put an x here, so if you can attach an x to that one. Okay, I'm going to start by moving the x to the right. So I have 105 plus 12x gives you a 117x. Adding the 334 to the opposite side. And now taking 334, adding 17 to it. And to isolate the x, you're going to divide by 117 to get an answer of 3. And plugging it back in, we could check to see did we do the math correctly.